video, and today we're going to be adding salt to the pool. This is a great way to not have to buy chlorine anymore and reduce your cost on chemicals. It's a little bit of a cost up front, but really not as bad as you might think. You'll spend a fraction of the cost on this system versus what it cost you on chlorine and chemicals for the entire year. So let's get into it. Now what I'm going to do here is using a Clorox brand
salt ppm checker, and it's just test strips, and I'm using the packaging that it came in. So instructions say to pull about an inch or so of water out of the pool, and then take your test strip and just put it in there and let it soak. So we're going to let that soak for a little while. It doesn't say how long it takes. It says collect a sample of water in a clean small cup. Only about an inch of water is necessary. Place the test strip into the sample and allow it to soak until the yellow band at the top, the strip turns dark. And it was a lighter color when I started, and the band is yellow, so we're going to let that sit there and soak up some salt. Now, we had about 10,000 gallons of water delivered, which is city water. I have no idea how much salt content is in that water. It does have chlorine in it when it's delivered, so this water's been in there since Sunday. It's been in there about a week. I did add about maybe a quart of chlorine as we were filling it the rest of the way with well water, just to help keep the chlorine levels up a little bit, keep the algae and stuff from growing. So now we've got the water level up to where it's in the acceptable range. We're still adding water to it, but we're going to go ahead and get some salt going. And I'm going to show you the method that I used to get the salt going. And our last pool, we had salt in it as well, and we loved it. So what we're going to be using is Clorox pool salt. And if you look at the back, it gives you a range of how much salt you're going to need. Now, it says if you have 0 ppms, and we have approximately 17,000 gallons of water here when we're all said and done. So let's just run out to 15,000. If it says 0 ppms, we're going to need 15 bags. If it's at 1,000, we're going to need about 8 bags. And I'm assuming we got some salt levels in the pool, and I didn't test it prior to going to get, but I did get 8 bags. So I'm going to be pretty close, if not right on the money, when we're all said and done. Well, it might take a while for that test strip to get... where it needs to be, but tell you what I'll do is I'll cut the video here and I'll come back after that's where it needs to be. I'll show you what it looks like. We're back. The test strip has reached critical mass, we call it. If you look, the test strip, this strip right here is yellow when you start, now it's turned dark. And then you look at the scale and you see that we are barely at 1. If anything, you see that lighter section? I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but we are only at 1. So now if you look at the bottle, 1 isn't even on the scale because it starts at 3. We are going to want to be somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500, something like that. Let's start to get adding some pool salt, and we'll dial it in and look at our directions a little closer as far as how many, let's see here, it says, typical saltwater pools operate between 3,000 and 4,000 ppm, so we are definitely way in the hole. Alright, so what I've done is I took that bag of salt and I just dumped it in a 5-gallon bucket, okay? And this is my method of adding salt to an above ground pool anyway. If you have an in-ground pool and you got drains on the bottom, you could probably just pour it right in the pool and sweep it around with a broom and get right down to the drains and have it circulate. However, we don't have that option. This is a brand new liner and I do not want salt to sit right on the liner at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is add it to the skimmer. And I don't want to tax my pump and filter, so this is why I'm doing it this way. So I've added it to a 5-gallon bucket, which is off camera here. And then I'm just using a bowl to slowly add it. Now there's a skimmer basket here. This is pretty fine granules, so it will dissolve pretty easy. So what I'm doing is I'm dumping it in here. It's going to churn in the skimmer basket, and there's a skimmer basket on my pump. And it's going to churn and go through there. Then it's going to get in the sand filter, and it has to get forced all the way through the sand filter. So by the time it exits the system and it's back out into the pool, it'll be completely dissolved. In a subsequent video, I'm going to show you how to get one of these saltwater systems, where to get the parts and how it works and all of that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to just do this, and I'm going to add most of my salt, not all of it. I'm going to go up to like the last maybe bag or 2. I'm going to let it churn and run plenty before I actually test it. So I want to have all this water mixed up real good, and I'll bring you back when we're doing that. Okay? Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you on the next segment. So if you're strong enough, and most of you probably are, you can pick the bag up and set it up on the ledge and just slowly roll it over until you get a flow going. And just slowly meter it in. It's a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Started out with the bucket and the bowl because I'm figuring there might be some maybe weaker individuals that couldn't pick the 40-pound bag up and get it up on the edge, but that's the way I'm doing it, so I figured I'd show you. Alright, only on my second bag here, so we'll be back in a little bit. Emptied the last bag of salt in there. I was going to wait on the last bag, but I did some calculations and think I might be right at the edge, maybe slightly under. So what I'm going to do is take a test now, and then I'm going to take a test maybe tomorrow or later tonight, just depends on how I feel, and see where we sit then before I add any more. So let's go ahead and test it out, see where we sit after 8 bags of salt. And just reference, this is a 24-foot round. It is 4.5 feet deep with a 6-foot center. So I just averaged the whole depth at about 5 feet with 24 across. It says I got about 16 and change on the gallons. So just around up to say 17,000 gallons. And hard to say exactly where I'm going to come out. Again, the instructions on the chlorine generator say 3,000 ppms. And here it's telling me on the bag that if I have 15,000, again I need somewhere between 8 and 11 bags. But that's at 15,000 gallons, and it's roughly 17,000 gallons, so it's a little hard to say. So I'm sorry to do these test strips and see what we see here. Currently, we are a lot better than we were because that white mark is coming up there. So we still got a little bit of time until that orange or that yellow strip turns dark. So when we wait till that happens, I'll be right back. Okay, so that strip at the top is almost completely dark. Just the very outer tips are still light colored. And I'll show you in a second here, but I think we're looking pretty sweet as far as our ppms. So, oops. Okay, so I'll show you what we got here. So, again, the top of this tab is dark, and what we're looking for is where the highest point of the white section is, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we've made it all the way up to 6, and then it's subdivided into, looks like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, into segments of 2. So we are just a smidge over 6 on that scale. So we look at the bottle, and 6.0 is 2.5, and we haven't quite made it to 6.2, so we're only at 2,800. And looks like, according to this chart, 6.4 is 3,040, all the way up to 7. So we probably need another bag to make it up to that 6.4 mark. And just double check to make sure we didn't go any higher. Nope, we're right at just a smidge over 6. So, yeah, I'm going to probably need just one more bag. And let's see here. Let's see if this chart helps us figure out how many more we're going to need. If we have 15,000 gallons, and we're measured out at 3,000, it says we need like 1.5 bags. So maybe even 2 bags. So I know throughout the summer I'll use up a little bit more because as you splash evaporation, you're going to have to put in some makeup water. So I'll probably get a couple more bags just to make sure that we get through the summer. And yeah, so that's how you add salt to your pool, or at least your above ground pool. And again, in subsequent videos, I'm going to get into the actual chlorine generator, how it works, its components, and how to hook it up. So thanks a lot for watching. Hey, if you want to, we got a Facebook page, Encompassing Self-Reliance. You can go check out that Facebook page. Basically just a community group about for anybody who wants to come in and share anything about self-reliance and doing things yourself. That's kind of where that Facebook page is headed. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do lots of videos on self-reliance, HVAC, and I work on doing metal and things around the house here, and gardening videos, and remodeling videos, and how-to videos, and just whatever we feel like. We're kind of like whatever around here. So today's video is about the pool. Thanks a lot for hanging out with us. And we'll see you in the next video.